So, hello. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're new here. This is Alchemize Yourself Tarot. And last night I posted a video called The Pattern, where you have always been less than, ends here. And this morning, I just woke up from a dream where I was an awkward middle school girl again. No joke. You know, like when you're just beginning to feel your womanly power, but it's not yet defined or contained yet. You know, when it awakens, but you don't fully understand it. Like forgetting to wear a bra. Remember that scene for the movie that came up from that movie 13, no bra, no panties. It's like, it was like I was going on that Disney ride, It's a Small World, backwards. So I'm kind of chuckling now, but it was actually very emotional waking up from this dream. And I realized that it wasn't that I didn't have power. I just never was taught how to hold it. So if you guys are feeling like you're almost something, almost chosen, almost seen, almost understood but misunderstood, you're not lacking. You're carrying something you may not have understood or been able to name. Oh, and the one thing about that Emperor energy, don't let that energy define you. So I'm gonna pull some cards now, and we're gonna kind of work with this energy, because I feel like, and I'm included in this because, you know, we're all collectively part of this. I feel like we need to explore this as, you know, as that like inner child work, you know, like we talk about this all the time, but it's never really defined how we're supposed to go back in time and figure out areas or scenarios where we were disempowered, you know, where we lost our voice, or we felt really awkward about what we should do, what we should say. I mean, I'm feeling that right now. So, I don't know, maybe this is a shared experience, something that we can explore together. Yeah, it's pretty early for me. Probably late for other people. Yeah, 5 of Cups. I totally felt that 5 of Cups. Like I wake up or woke up sobbing, you know? Here, it was like I was feeling that flood of emotions. But then, you know, now there's this release, there's this relief after purging that. And after sharing it with you guys. I don't know if you can see the 5 of Cups. This is a beautiful 5 of Cups. It's like she's out in the water, and there's all these flowers blooming. There's all this stuff blooming in that sadness, in that sense of devastation and feeling exposed. So yeah, some of you are in that process. Or maybe, let's say you've been awakening and you've been through some of this, and all of a sudden it just starts coming back. I don't know, it just all starts coming back. And the biggest challenge is the Knight of Wands, is to go back to being spontaneous. You know, not sit in the Five of Cups where you regret or feel bad about it, but moving through it. And I was doing like a personal kind of the divine feminine energy last night. Not in a reading I posted, but you know, working with the cards, it was the Knight of Wands. It's funny that the Knight of Wands is coming out, because there is that impulsivity and passion with the Knight of Wands. And many times, you know, when you are childlike or youthful, or even Knight of Wands can be that teenage, young adulthood, spontaneous energy. It's like when you act spontaneously and then you regret it. That kind of energy. And yeah, the divine feminine was the energy, was the Knight of Wands and Eight of Wands, and like all this fire, and there was no real water there, you know. And so sometimes we have to kind of go back into that self-reflection, but also be able to move through it, not sink into the Five of Cups, but move through the Five of Cups energy by getting back out there, still trying things, not losing your power or your passion, your creative desires, all of that. You know, the Knight of Wands, this Knight of Wands has a feminine on it. I don't know if it's going to focus in for you, but I find that very beautiful, that there's actually a feminine energy, because the Knight of Wands gets this bad rap, right? But the Knight of Wands is courageous, passionate, fiery. Knight of Wands has confidence. They go right in. The thing with the Knight of Wands is learning to direct that energy, direct these energies, like these heavy emotions, right? You know, and you feel like that as a teenager or a young adult. You feel like this, you're going from extremes, from highs to lows. So some of this may be coming up on your current journey as you start to move in a new direction. Many of you are in the Fool card of the tarot. You're in that leg of the journey, that state of consciousness where you're taking a risk, where you're taking a leap of faith, and you're gaining a lot of momentum. So, but it's really important to not get ensnared back into those fears, back into the temptation or darkness, or even seduce. You know, the devil energy ensnares. It controls that energy for itself, right? It likes to seduce and tempt, so it can so it can actually feed off of that energy. And that devil can represent anything, like your past fears, your wounds, your addictions, all of that. All of those things that ensnare you back into the darkness, right? That Five of Cups. There's nothing wrong with feeling the Five of Cups, but you're not meant to sink down in it, right? You're meant to feel it and then move through that energy. The Knight of Wands gives you that momentum to move through the depth of those feelings. Sorry, my cat Moses just came and sat right on me. Oh God. It's like I'm feeling these waves. And it's really, yeah, Page of Pentacles, everything's new. That's where the new seed gets planted, in those waves between the emotion and the passion, the desire. Then you ground it, right? Page of Pentacles is all about, especially this one, it's about planting seeds, doing something with that energy, channeling it, planting it, creating with it. And see, personal experience, I never was taught to channel those things into creative pursuits. It was always about people pleasing. So maybe some of you identify with that. Like, instead of channeling it into something creative, something that I wanted to do, I tended to try to be understood, try to be understood by others or please them. That's the essence of where we give our power away. Because it's not the emotion or the desire that's wrong or bad, like that's off. It's not having a way to ground it or channel it with that page. Knights and pages are they're underestimated in the tarot. We underestimate how important it is to be at the beginning or the threshold of something, or starting over doing something. So it's really exciting energy. You're taking this pain, this sorrow, you're channeling this into like sacred fire, and then grounding it. And yeah, Five of Wands, maneuvering, right? You have to find your place, right? How to direct it, what move to make. And this, interestingly enough, was in that video last night that I posted. That Five of Wands was in the outcome. So it's like, you're making moves now. You're on the board. You're on the board, many of you. Because you planted that seed. You did that. You took action towards whatever it is. After that big fallout or disappointment or breakup or not being chosen, rejection, you went ahead and planted that seed, and it put you on the board. It put you in the running for something. Excuse me. So, yeah, and the Chariot, it has the potential to be very successful. This is what's aligned with you. Because it's authentic, it's real, right? It's messy, it's awkward. Page of Pentacles, Five of Wands, there's an awkwardness to it, but it's momentum, right? You're not going to sink down. You're going to create some soil, and you're going to, maneuver with it, act on it. And it might feel slow. This Chariot card is so cute to me because it's the snail. Snails are slow moving. So it may feel like you're still kind of sliding along that chessboard. That the thing is, the never-ending story, the race. It's not just any snail, it's a racing snail. That may have inspired the artwork on this card. I don't know, but it's a racing snail. So there's a lot of paradox here, because there's like the slow, sluggish energy, but then all of a sudden it kind of like bursts forward, it gets fueled, it gets activated. And yeah, the Nine of Cups. regardless, it's aligned with you because it's creating happiness. You feel really good when you're channeling all of the aspects of your experiences into your work. That's where you're going to feel, and not work as far as job work. I'm talking, well, and some of you will channel this into your job, take it into your job, your workplace, but I mean more like your sacred work. Your sacred work, your creative work, your soul work. That's what I'm really trying to do here. And many of you are trying to find your soul work, your soul voice, and it gets suppressed by sadness or disappointment or failures in comparison with other people, like learning to overcome that, right? And then we have, the Wheel of Fortune. Something shifting and gaining momentum as you start to define it and as you start to recognize it. Ace of Wands. You're inspired. You have a new idea. So you're taking it somewhere. You're doing something with it. And we talk about channeling. It's not just some mystical psychic experience. It's the muse. So you're finding the inner muse. That's the spirit of channeling into a creative pursuit. Because that's when you actually do something with the energy. You're not just feeling it or desiring it. You're actually planting it. You're painting it. You're drawing it. You're writing it down. It's materializing in some way. Oh, and there we go. That Devil card, that's the fear. That's the web that you get caught in. Instead of weaving the web, you're caught up in the web. I love that imagery because the web, when you're weaving it, when you're creating it, you're the spider. Arachne came out. Yeah, that's an interesting mythological story. But you're weaving the narrative, the myth, instead of caught up in the myth or the narrative. Right? You're getting to tell your story. And that's where we're kind of tempted to kind of hold, that's when that passion, desire, and excitement gets caught up into negative things, channeled in. And that's where devil energy wants you to be. The devil energy, whatever that is, relationships, society, that's where devil energy wants you to be because it is a parasite on creative pursuits. It feeds off of that energy in a negative way. It's manifestation backwards, right? It takes you back instead of pushing you forward. So really think about that, you guys, when you are in these dark places, sadness or feeling awkward or misunderstood, or you're not necessarily understanding the energy, just remember to not let it, devil energy, parasitic energy, feed off of that and pull you back. This is a new little deck I got, and it's really cute. It has like a quirkiness to it. I think it's going to be fitting for this reading, actually. Cozy vanity, comfy arrogance, and serene egotism. So there's nothing wrong with a little comfy arrogance. Some of you need that. You need a little boost of confidence, especially if you've dealt with rejection or loss or grief. You need to get a little cocky about what you're doing, right? But it's serenity. It's healthy ego, not distorted ego or wounded ego with the devil. I like that little cozy vanity. And we have concentrated potential, full-bodied capacity, lurking power. Oh yeah. And that was, you know, I've read that before, concentration. It's not just about like, meditation is part of it, but concentrating something, you're taking a wide span, you know, the wideness of light, right? Or fire. You don't want to force fire. It's like directing that energy, like concentrating it into a point where you can move through it. So it's about like direction of the energy. It's like instead of a river, a gushing river, you have like a hose, right? The hose is, so the energy can be a powerful force, uncontrolled, or it can be very directed and focused, like through a hose or a faucet, right? If you had the full, if you had like the full power of emotions and fire, it's not harnessed in any way. It can be manipulated or controlled, devil energy or explosive or dangerous even. But when it's concentrated, it's a beautiful thing. It's a powerful thing. You can direct that power. It's concentrated potential. And I was kind of getting like a world of mystics kind of energy too, like finding your mystical power and that comfy arrogance. The serene egotism, right? The ego not, you know, ruling or overpowering you. Water, oh my gosh, water. Release any negative emotions. Love will find its way to you. So a lot of you are purging, you're releasing, you're crying those final tears, or maybe you'll cry, but you're releasing that. That's part of the releasing process. I love that, working with the water, not being overwhelmed or drowning in it, but swimming in it, releasing it, and getting your groove, your fire back. What is this? Magic potion. Okay. Get creative. Don't limit yourself. Change your method to get ahead. So you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to move differently. That Five of Wands. You're in a different pond or playing field, or you're on a different chessboard, right? Change your method, change your strategy, change up the way you've been doing something, not because you feel insecure or bad about it, but because you're figuring out what works. So, thank you for, just being here in this experience. And it's really exciting when you learn how to direct and concentrate that power. So it's like you've discovered your power, now what? So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and join me again. Thank you so much. Bye.